First things first, my name's Kenneth Berber. Company is Black Series Edition. Black Series Edition. Okay. Company is ILEG, Infusion Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. And I'm inside the PS4. So, first thing first, which I should have did, first thing first, I should have removed the stuff off the desk. That would have helped out a lot. Now that doesn't make any big deal if you move it or not. Okay. I can tell you one thing, it's super dirty. Wow. Having super dirty. 11 years of dirt. Let me just open rack this thing. Better even here with this. Oh, no, nothing. Now, I won't be doing much talking because this is console. Console part's a little different from PC. I make it like a Rubik's Cube to get in these things. So I gotta concentrate and see exactly what I've got. It's actually pretty easy. Still gotta concentrate. This is the bottom half of it. chill. She's in for trash. Wife. Cut through this baby, put in a filter, and a 120 millimeter fan, which should push plenty of air through this thing at the end of the day. Gee whiz Louise. Look how compressed these things are. This is a no-no. Why do you say for a torque 8 for these? I find that this one pulls these up quite nicely. This is a screwdriver for a motherboard screws. So these are motherboard screws right here. It's the hard drive compartment I need to get access to. The rest of everything else is pretty well. I don't know when I take out the other side, take off the other side. Let's see. Oh, this is all one plate. Gee whiz Louise, I'll have to remove the entire plate to get access to the motherboard. I mean the hard drive. Screw here, here, and here. This one here and here. Gee whiz Louise. Oh, I do not feel like dismantling this thing, but I do have to get access to that little compartment in there because we have dust all the way up in there. See, this is what I mean by not making it easy for you to get access to areas by compacting these things together. You literally have to dismantle this whole entire thing to get access to that one part. I wonder. Yeah, because this is all together. Wow. This is why I like PC better. I do. I love PC better. Easy. Freaking easy to get access to every freaking part on my PC compared to that. Right there, I got to go to a freaking Rubik's Cube of this craziness. Oh. This the Xbox is really easy to get access to. You can pop an Xbox open pretty easy. Getting that one easy. Xbox, you had access to everything right there in front of your face. It's so easy. It's much like a PC. Easy to get access to everything. Alright, so basically, let's go on the wire right here. Oh, that can be 1, 2, but that would pull this out. Oh yeah, we definitely do this. The dirt that we have in there. Man. Gonna have to pull ribbons. I hate pulling ribbons because you snap these things the wrong way. You learn how to tweeze this way, you can damage them. I don't want to go that far into damage them. It's not open. I need access. Okay, so I see here. Let's just see something for a minute. There's The PlayStation's easy, the PS5's easy to dismantle. Just have a little tutorial. I'm gonna make sure I get that bottom half off because I can't get access to that. Oh yeah, that would be the perfect name for it. Stubborn. Because it is stubborn. You get the bottom half off. The top cover we need to get rid of and take off. Just take the whole thing out and stick it in the freaking PC and be done.
Hey, my covers don't come off as easy as yours, or I've even gotten some people saying that theirs don't work the same, and they just simply will not come off. And I'm here to tell you, every PS4 Pro is made the same, they all come off the same way, but some of the covers are fairly difficult to remove. So I'm going to remove the covers on all three of these consoles. I do have the 3 screws in the back removed, so it's faster for this video. I can't show you which ones need to be removed, however, this screw, and there's one right under here as well. Right here. So there's 3 screws in the back. This one and this one will be covered by warranty stickers. But after you remove those warranty stickers, then you can give this. Hey guys, I'm Steve with Tronics Fix. We have a PS4 Slim right here, and it's time to tear it down. Okay, here we are with the PS4 Slim. This one I've never actually taken apart before, so I'm assuming I kind of need all the same tools as I need with the regular PS4. But I don't know for sure. So the first thing we're going to take off is the warranty sticker, as usual. So we're just going to use a little pig for this, and we will get that taken off. Save it aside for our collection. And it looks like we've just got a security Torx, probably a T8. Yep, T8, usually a T9 works as well. So that is now taken off, and let's go ahead and take the card drive out as well. As you can see, that just you just get your finger right in the groove right there, push it sideways, and that'll slip out. So we're going to move that out of the way as well. And now we've got the Sony screw for the hard drive. So we're going to take that out. Just that typical screw they use for the hard drives. And then, as you can see on the side here, with that plastic plate off, we just got a tab we can pull out the hard drive. And there's a look at the hard drive right here. I'm going to take these 4 screws off. Let's see what kind of hard drive it is. Okay, now those 4 screws are off. And this one is a Toshiba. And it is
500
gig, 5400. Now we have to figure out how to get this bottom case off. So what I'm
First one came with 500. That one has a terabyte on it. I checked it.
going to do is I'm going to assume that it comes off the same as the previous PS4s. So I'm going to pull up on the corner.
Alright, that's what I did. It's not line up.
On this corner.
Alright.
And that seems to have gotten it off. Then we're just going to slide the whole corner, the whole case forward.
Yes, back there.
And there's the case. Bottom case actually looks fairly similar. You've got the buttons right here, the physical button, one right there, one right there. So the
Which is interesting because mine didn't have that triangle plate right there at all. Mine just had this plate. That was it. That plate right there wasn't in it. Sheesh.
button and then the eject button, both right there. So this is the first
Didn't need
look
it.
for me
Technically.
at the inside of the PS4.
In fact, that one of the plates were missing, and the system I had it for 11 years didn't have any complications or any problems. I mean, we didn't even need that to begin with in there.
Slim,
I mean,
and we've got the disk drive here, and of course over here we got to take this metal plate off to get to the motherboard. But what we're gonna do first is flip it over, take the power supply out, and then we can get this off. So I also don't know how to get this off. That seems easy, I guess. So we just pull up on there. There's some clips that hold that in. There's another.
That's it. So we didn't even have to go near this. Which is fantastic. I hope this is correct. Or if we snap it, we just buy another one. Oh, hola. That's it. Alright, cool. That's it. That's all we need to get access to. Let's put the other screws back in. Okay, that was it. Just snap it open. Done. Well, you were terrified of these things. Every time we go inside, I'm going to jack it up. I'm just going to make sure we have to pull a bunch of screws out of it because I learned that the hard way with a Christie one time. I ripped out like 20 screws out there. You know you didn't have to do that, right? Like the screw was right. There's one screw that I had to remove to pull the whole entire lamp out and didn't know it. So, yeah. And there's no videos on how to do it, so I had to figure it out for myself. Because mostly when you get projectors, sometimes there's no videos telling you what to take out. And you're like, God damn it. Gotta take out all these screws. It wash your freaking mind. So it wasn't needed. Go ahead and get access to that. No, that's not for that. Let me see. Dude, look at the dirt that's in this thing. It's unbelievable. How much dirt these things can accumulate. Sheesh. And those people at the end of the day say, oh, you know, I gotta clean up. Yeah, you know, these things can catch fire. Why don't they make them so compressed? What's the purpose of all this? Oh, put you over here because you're looking at fire. Fire! Make them so freaking compressed. I'm trying to figure out something here on this. Can I get a better stand? Looking at it. We didn't have to remove that, which is good. That didn't have to come out. We had one more pull. That was the other one we pulled right there. This one didn't have to come out either. There's two right there. Here. PS5 man on now. I'm taking the whole thing apart. I have to take the whole thing apart, literally. It has to come apart. I got a liquid cool it. I get access to motherboard. really would like to get this off so I can get access to this and put a hard drive extender on here so I basically can bring my hard drive out and basically put a cooling system on it. Because that's just for fun. We don't need to, but why not? Dirt. The attractive thing about the PS4 and the PS5, you have to go past your warranty stickers to clean them. You don't have an option. These you're definitely going past the warranty sticker to get access. Only have access to the hard drive. That's it. Well, at least the PS5 allows you to go inside, but still, you got to go past those warranty stickers to get to that other area at the end of the day. And if not, guess what? Ticking time bomb. Kaboom! Kaboom! So that derby got me here. Kaboom! That's what I was talking about the open case PCs, about dirt and everything. I got access to these things. I'll just turn them off and whoop, 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 I'm done. Look at that. Again with the heat shield. Why heat shield? Why? That's funny. You're PC Master Race. You live on the moon with the golden mansion. You cry golden tears. That was the best comment I've ever heard in my entire. I remember it to this day. Funniest thing I ever heard from a console gamer. Actually, you know them both, right? Let me see. There's a fan doohickey right there. Woo! The fan man. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Flip right over here, and then that just comes off. Okay, that's easy enough.
That was easier than that bottom half.
And now for the power supply, it looks like we have the power supply right here, and then also possibly Wi-Fi antenna right here. So that will come off next. I'm going to take out, we've got some T8 security Torx that are long. So I'm going to take those off first. And then, kind of like the 1200 series, we've just got this metal plate that comes off. I'm going to put these screws in there so they stay right there with it. Now we've got 2 Phillips over here and 2 Phillips over here, using a Phillips number 1. And now just the Phillips for the antenna over here.
We don't need access to that.
I'm assuming it might actually just be a metal clip. I'm going to be real careful with it. Okay, it looks like...
Yeah, with them ribbons. Kind of boom! Done.
It is the antenna, but it also kind of clips on there. So that just clips on. So I'm assuming this might actually not even have to come off. We'll take the power supply out, and then this probably has a clip that clips down onto the motherboard. Let's check it out. So to get the power supply out, okay, we got a little grip on it right back here. This part of the power supply is loose, this part is not. Let's take a look at the other side. And it looks like this screw may be what's holding it in, so let's remove that screw.
Main concern is that this piece of plexiglass, we may have to cut it a little bit because it is very close to the edge. Oh my God, the edges, these are clamp pieces right here, allow the case to lock back on. You hit any of these things and you're not getting your case back on. So we may have to cut this. Make it a little bit smaller, because that's too close. That's way too close to the edge. Okay.
It is a Phillips.
I'm still gonna paint this thing and make it glow.
And I can already see the power supply has dropped down already, so it's this screw right here that you have to take out. So that loosens the power supply, and we've got the Wi-Fi antenna right here, and the Wi-Fi antenna is routed right there, so we have to deroute it from this whole routing right here. So I'm going to use needle nose pliers, just pull up on that antenna. What I do is grasp it, you know, gently but firmly, and then twist
And the
it and
access
pull.
to this part right here.
And then we're just going to deroute it
This is
right
good. I
there.
need to touch
So
it.
that is off. And now we have the power supply cable that goes to the motherboard. Normally I use needle nose pliers. This one, we may be able to just pull on it, so that's what we're going to try. Just give it a fairly good tug back and forth, and that disconnects that. So there we have the PS4 Slim with no power supply. Next, we'll deroute this Wi-Fi cable using our needle nose pliers. I'll pull it up so I can show you guys. Just pull it up like that. And then there are some pieces of tape that hold that back. So that looks pretty good for that. Now we need to flip it over, and then we need to take all of these screws out. We've got a bunch of metal machine screws, and so we're going to get those all taken out with our electric screwdriver. And that looks like all of those. Now keep in mind, it does look like there is one screw right there that comes in from the other side. So I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to take that screw out. It is this one right here. There is actually an arrow that points to it. So let's get that taken out. And it is a long screw, as you can see. So our goal here is just to be able to remove this plate and get the motherboard out. Now all of the black screws on this are actually the exact same size. So you don't need to keep track of where the specific screw goes, just where the black screws in general go. So the next thing we're going to do is deroute this Wi-Fi cable from this whole area here, and then we'll be able to take this metal plate off.
Power supply.
So once again, I'm going to grasp it and twist with my needle nose pliers, and then just move it back out of the way. And we do have one black screw in the corner here that we forgot, so we got that on. And now it looks like we need to remove all of the cables, the ribbon cables for the disk drive. So we've got this cable, this cable, this cable, and this cable. So we're going to remove all those next. And these ones,
Modder's best friend.
most of them, it looks like
Ain't
all
got one of
except for
these?
one.
Well, you ain't
You
getting
just
it in.
grab on the dark blue part.
On my PC modification tool.
This cable right here, we need to just flip up. I just use my fingernail, flip up, and pull it out. So now the disk drive cables are disconnected. Now we're going to disconnect the antenna, or the fan cable. Just a 3-wire cable, and you just pull it out with your fingers like
I need
that.
all this stuff.
Now this should be loose, and it is. Oh, it looks like we must have forgotten one over here. Okay, we've got 2 screws right here that we've not removed yet.
Ah. Nice.
That one, and that one. Now the plate should come up, and it does. So the metal plate, and it looks like we've got some thermal pads here. When you remove this, you have to make sure that those thermal pads do stay on or are on the motherboard, so you don't lose any of them. Okay, and now we have our first look at the motherboard. And it actually looks pretty similar. It is smaller than the motherboard for the previous PS4
two ports from liquid cooling.
Slightly larger motherboard
It's even
than
worse.
this.
I mean, it's 2 ports.
And it also had this kind of the same clamp configuration. I was hoping they would redo this because even the 1215 models still have some problems with turning off and turning on and turning back off. I was hoping they would redo that to prevent that. The solder joints under the APU still may have problems with that. but there's just no way to know at this point.
Cutters.
So we're going to remove
I had
these
diamond
two
tip
screws,
cutters.
and we're also going to remove
But
this
someone
connector
decided to
for the
basically
disk drive,
take them from
and
me
then
when I
the
moved.
motherboard should pull up and out. So this we're going to leave here until we get the motherboard out. In fact, we may just leave it there
Did we
altogether.
break all of these? Are these all broken?
So the next thing we're going to do is pull up on the back of the motherboard, and that should help us clear these connections right here. So we do need to remove that cable still. I'm going to use needle nose pliers. And if you grab real gently and wiggle and pull, it'll come off just like that. So that is now removed. And now we pull up on the back and pull back this way. And now we can see the inside. So here we've got the APU. I've seen a lot of people commenting about the APU and where's the GPU. The APU is a GPU and CPU put together into one called an APU. Stands for Accelerated Processing Unit. And that's this chip. And then you can see on the back side here, these are the RAM.
They did that much like the TV VCRs. If you ever seen those back in the day, one goes, they all go. That's what I don't like about having a CPU and GPU into one unit, because one goes, the other one goes with it. Watching your stuff supernova in front of you. I don't like that.
Chips. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 RAM chips. So those are the RAM chips. And here are the ports. The HDMI port. Give you guys a look at that. Let me take a look. So this HDMI port is the upgraded port, the upgraded style that has the pins integrated into the plastic. In the back, the plastic is solid. So that is a much better style. So those should work well. One thing that does kind of worry me about these is these USB ports are awfully tall. Sometimes when they get tall like this, when people shove the cables in, they do end up bending backwards. So hopefully there's enough support in here that that doesn't happen. But you never know, it could happen, so hopefully not. But this gives you an overview of what the motherboard looks like for the PS4 Slim. Now that we have the motherboard out, let's take a closer look here. One thing you got to be careful of when you're removing these is there's more thermal pads on this. One there, one there, one there, and one there. And there is one that goes right here too that's back on the motherboard. So that is one thing you got to be careful of. With this, hopefully Sony is trying to keep this thing cooler and keeping these chips cooler. And hopefully that'll mean they have less problems with the solder joints going bad on these. So now let's remove this bottom plate and have a look at the heatsink. For the bottom plate, it looks to me like there's 2 screws here and 2 screws here. I don't see, oh, there is 2 screws over here as well. So let's take those off and see if we can get it off. Okay, now this plate should just lift up. See, it is loose and it is lifting up for me. Let's move this cable out of the way for us. Okay, now this is that side, and now we're going to get a look at the cooling fins. So you can see the cooling fins here. The cooling area really isn't that big on this, and this is the large metal plate that does a lot of that collects a lot of the heat. And I don't see any. It does look like there's a heat pipe in this one. Barely see it right down here. It looks like the heat pipe is between the cooling fins and the large metal plate of the heatsink. It looks like there is one there. So that gives you an idea of what the cooling area looks like, and also the heatsink area. Now we can have a look at the fan. So here's the fan. It's about the same size as the previous fan, so everything looks very similar with that. So let's go ahead and take out the Blu-ray drive. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding the Blu-ray drive in. So okay, now this plate should just lift up. Like this, when people shove the cable. Now I was hoping they would read the blue part, and you pull up on the back, the PS4 Slim. Now that we have the motherboard out, let's take a closer look here. One thing you got to be careful of when you're removing these is there's more thermal pads on this. One there, one there, one there, and one there. And there is one that goes right here too that's back on the motherboard. So that is one thing you got to be careful of with this. Hopefully Sony is trying to keep this thing cooler and keeping these chips cooler. And hopefully that'll mean they have less problems with the solder joints going bad on these. So now let's remove this bottom plate and have a look at the heatsink. For the bottom plate, it looks to me like there's 2 screws here and 2 screws here. I don't see, oh, there's 2 screws over here as well. So let's take those off and see if we can get it off. Okay, now this plate should just lift up. See, it is loose and it is lifting up for me. Let's move this cable out of the way for us. Okay, now this is that side, and now we're going to get a look at the cooling fins. So you can see the cooling fins here. The cooling area really isn't that big on this, and this is the large metal plate that does a lot of that collects a lot of the heat. And I don't see any. It does look like there's a heat pipe in this one. You can barely see it right down here. It looks like the heat pipe is between the cooling fins and the large metal plate of the heatsink. It looks like there is one there. So that gives you an idea of what the cooling fins look like. And also the heatsink area. Now we can have a look at the fan. So here's the fan. It's about the same size as the previous fan, so everything looks very similar with that. So let's go ahead and take out the Blu-ray drive. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding the Blu-ray drive in. So let's get those removed, and we'll see if that's enough to get it out. Okay, those 4 screws are removed, and it does look like that's enough to get it out. One interesting thing here is this board right here. On the back side, it has the power and eject buttons, and also it's got the buzzer that makes noise when you power it on or power it off.
You might want to take that off. That would definitely help.
Located just right here at the front of the Blu-ray player. So let's flip this over and give you a view of the bottom side. It looks similar to the 1200 series, but it's a little bit different. This part is a lot larger,
cut right through
but other than that, it does look very similar. I am going to go ahead and take this screw off and pull this plate off so you can have a look at the laser. So the PH0 that I've been using is a little bit too big for these screws. Get things stuck in here. You have to remember that there's locating tabs. There's one here and some over here as well. So what you got to do is just pull from the front, and then there you go. There's that, and then let's take a look at the laser. So right here's the laser, and so that's the button.
This is why we use the diamond tips.
And that'll be coming up
Definitely
soon, so
the
keep an eye
diamond
on our
tips.
channel, and thanks for watching.
These things shatter so badly. That's why I like to use the diamond tips instead. So I'm gonna do like what? How many of these before we cut through one of these? This is not good. I gotta get diamond tips. I had them. Yeah, someone stole them. Let me see. Where are you? Wait, this piece of Flathead. They give me a flathead with it. Pop this in. Flatheads. Oh yeah, that's not gonna be flat. We need a flathead to pull this up. Sheesh. Man, that's right. Give me that. Wait. Look at the other side. That's the other side. Yeah, that's the other side. There's both sides. My case has better ones on them. This is much better. This one's the garbage. You always keep the garbage blades. Every single time. One big pack of cutters. These things are trash. I'm going to throw those in the trash. They're not really good cutters at all, period. You make your own cutters out of cardboard. Did you know that? Yep, and cut right through cardboard with them. Come out of cardboard. Okay, let me see if I can find my original box. Where I forgot I put it at. And then I'll put it up. So it has different cutting. Okay, put them up. Reaction to them. Getting and going on the hunt for them. Let's see. I bet you $100 there in that box. Wow. The diamond chips are much better. Alright, let's just muddle through this mess. I'm gonna have to order them. We're not gonna be able to cut to that freaking case without that freaking diamond tip ones. These are trash. Let me see. What do we need here? Right. Adding the switches on the side. This is the bottom half. Where in tarnations did you put the top half at? We don't need this. That's trash. Where's the top half? The bottom half? Oh, here it is, right there. Perfect. Now we don't have to worry about touching anything. Ink pen, never one when you need one. Okay. Sharpie would have been real nice for this. The Cruiser! Don't lose that, please, bird. You know, I painted the white so I can see the markings. A groover. Wish I should have went all the way over. You have to paint some of that. Let me see. I need to see this. I should have painted all the way over. I don't know why I did it halfway. Who knows why? I'll give it a minute for it to dry. A groover. I miss these tools so much. That's too much for the here. And automatically get people saying, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, sure. I know more about your console than you know about it. Literally. I can crack a PS5, look at the motherboard and read the motherboard. I know I can modify that and do things with that thing you couldn't even possibly know what to do with it. Only people that would know what to do with people who build on PCs, they would actually open up like, oh crap, we can play around with this for a couple of days. There's a lot of cool stuff we could do to that. The average gamer's not going into that machine. He's not going to step foot in there. Nope. Because you know why? Because he's going to mess it up. That's what the problem is. He's going to wreck it. The jacked up thing about it is you're going to have to sooner or later. You got to clean them. They're ticking time bombs if you don't clean them. Right now, your systems right now are ticking time bombs. You're going to have to void the sticker. Because again, like I said, the void sticker, because due to the fact that Sony doesn't clean them. So what are you going to do? You have to clean that system. How dirty mine was inside. It had dust bunnies in there. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to clean that system. See, the difference between that system and the PS5 is, if you notice, that system has an enclosure on it, which means, bottom line is, dust to get in those different compartments, it's going to be extremely difficult because it's enclosed inside of a case. That's why the Xbox did theirs. Theirs is actually enclosed inside of a metal case. The PS5, on the other hand, doesn't have that at all. As a matter of fact, the power supply that's connected to the PS5 has these kind of like Swiss cheese holes all through them, and those holes can get cluttered because dust can get down those corridors and basically cause a small sandstorm down to cause your system to overheat and stress out because air can't get down there. So if you basically take it to somebody to clean it, they're going to come out and tell you, look, you got a freaking void sticker there. I got to go past this to clean your system. It's like they made it so it's designed to burn out, so you have to go buy another one. I have no idea what the heat shields are for. That's just a waste of hoo-ha. Anybody said, but you got to put this back in here. Apparently, I was missing a heat shield that was in there. And I had this thing for 11 years. I never had an overheating issue. Matter of fact, it's the first time I'm cleaning it in 11 years. Yeah. So, that tells you right there. Gotta get in there and clean. I don't care if you are scared to go in there, you gotta go in there and clean it. You don't have an option because you're gonna buy another one. And guess what that becomes? Now you have become tech. And the thing about it, the more and more they advance your machine, the more and more they give you access to parts. And if they give you access to parts, it's more likely areas are not going to fix. They're going to let you fix it. So you better get used to it. Go in there and play around. I see the people that are afraid of going to their systems and just look at the systems just sitting up there on a shelf. And they're doing anything with that. You work with it. And I can liquid cool that sucker, man. Refrigeration unit on there. I can fix that problem with that dust won't be connecting to your system. It's easy. So it's such an easy solution. And somebody, the guy, oh yeah, he screamed at me. The guy screamed at me. This guy called me up. The one that forgot the motherboard when building a PC. But anyway, he contacts me and tells me that, oh, the people at PlayStation, I think they know what they're doing. Really? Then how come you don't got basically filters in those ports over there? Because you got dust that's going to be down there pretty soon, and yeah, it's going to accumulate. So, yeah. If you wonder why your system's stuttering, having issues loading up, all kinds of problems, freezing, because your system is dirty. It's not your hard drive at the end of the day is overheating. All your compartments are in there are basically suffocating on the dust. And then you're trying to run games on it? That's going to have a hard time with that. So, you have to go inside sooner or later. Look at the freedom you achieve. You know how to repair your own stuff. There's nothing better than that feeling at the end of the day. The guy was like, you want a warranty? I don't want a freaking warranty. I'm going to modify the daylights out of this. I did modify the daylights out of it. I even went back. I got it at Best Buy and showed him what I did to it. He was like, good Lord! I dismantled that whole entire thing. Boy, they modified the 360 like there was no tomorrow. I think that was the most modified console system on the face of the planet. Because the Red Rain drove people to go inside their systems. We got tired of replacing things. Everybody was trying to build a better mousetrap, keep them cool. And if you worked on computers and you pop this open, you're like, oh, alright. This is easy. Easiest system to modify ever. It was just like a PC. They built it just literally like a PC. You had the optical drive, you had the GPU, you got your CPU, you got your hard drive, the motherboard. Of course, the RAM was all integrated, which it wasn't, but it was. Other than that, yeah, it's just like a PC. I can dump on the vegetable oil. Can these be dropped in vegetable oil? No. Oh maybe if they can be dropped in vegetable oil. But the hard drive would be the issue. You don't want the hard drive making contact. USBs wouldn't have any issue in oil. They're not both issues in oil. None of that would have problems at all. HDMI, none of that. HDMI, they're dropped in oil. Put them in, they work perfectly fine. And the graphic card, none of the problem. The optical drive has to come out of there. You see, the problem is, the way they got those optical drives in, it's kind of difficult to yank those suckers out, so they made them slim. Where the optical drive on the 360 was an actual 3.5 optical drive. The same optical drive you put in a PC, exact same size. Except you couldn't plug that in, it wouldn't work because it wasn't compatible with it. But it was the same size. It was very easy to pull it out and manipulate the cables and attachments, easy. So I can keep the optical drive and the hard drive away from the oil easily. Everything else can be submerged. Now if I want the digital doesn't have the optical drive, I could drop it in vegetable oil. The only difference is that hard drive would have to I'd have to get an extension cable, a SATA extension and power cable to run out of the unit, and I would have to plug the hard drive away from it. But then since it's using N2s at the end of the day, solid state drives can be actually submerged in vegetable oil. I got people saying, but that can't happen. Oh my God, shut up! Crack a book, for goodness sakes. You understand the physics of a hard drive? It's quite simple. It's a disk that reads. It reads off a disk. Alright? So, what happens if you drop a hard drive, I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about the naysayers. If you drop a hard drive under vegetable, you know what happens? That disk starts to slow down until it just stops. Fans operate the same way. Anything that spins in motion in vegetable oil eventually stops. So when that hard drive stops, that's it. It means your basic hard drive is quit working, it's not working. As long as that disk is spinning, it's reading. But if it can't spin, it can't read. M2s don't have disk on them at all, period. And because they don't have a disk, means they can be submersible under vegetable oil. The problem you run into is that the M2 basically generates heat. So in that vegetable oil, that heat is being dispersed, but there's no place for it to go. It's just trapped in there with your motherboard and all the other parts. Unless you got liquid cooling running off your CPU, you're good because that's going to generate a ton of heat. But still, the M2s do generate heat. So you have to figure a way either how to cool the vegetable oil within the vat itself, or basically figure out a way how to cool down the M2. That's going to be your issue. If you're doing like a crazy build, you're putting in a massive graphic card, a really good one in there, it's going to generate heat, you're going to have to liquid cool the hard drive. I mean, the hard drive, the GPU graphic card, you have to. They generate way too much heat. Remember, your heat has nowhere to go. It's trapped in it, with you, so you have to be able to cool the oil down. I actually built a contraption to allow you to do it, but I won't tell you what it is. And nor will I show you how to do it. You know why? Because that's what I like to do. I may show you one day, I'm not sure. I'm still testing it, by the way. I actually built the contraption to do it. First things first, console gamer, it would have no use for you at all, period. I don't know why you would get finicky, fussy, or whatever it is that you do. It's not for you. Because it'd be pointless. You're not going to go into the system. Well, yeah, there's certain ones that will go into systems, they will. But the majority of those guys, they're PC gamers. They are. Because they understand the schematics of the parts and all that stuff like that. Majority anybody that's going to rip one of those machines open and go inside definitely has a gaming PC laying around somewhere. Because you got to know some of that stuff in order to open up and go inside of one of those units. You have to know. You're going to have to know. You're going to have to know. Definitely going to have to know. But to make sure that's right, I want that transferred to my glass. You're going to have to know what you're looking at. You have to understand it. These are think outside the box boxes. Even though they're made out of boxes, they still think outside the box. Which means now you have to build your PC from the ground up without the case. You integrate your own power supplies, you integrate your own kill switches, all that stuff. Oh, the kill switch. Oh, I love the kill switch. The kill switch? Putting in the kill switch? Really? You have to do all that stuff. But look, when you think about it, you're about to go full circle. Yeah. They keep building these console systems the way they are. Like, see how compressed they made that thing. They're going to stop building them like that. Pretty soon, they're going to be like PCs. There are big, bulky cases attached to them. They're going to be PCs. The only problem is you would not have delivery of a PC. I don't even know how that would even work. It's baffling. I am so curious to see how this all turns out. Because, again, they want you to be PC, but they don't want you to PC. So they want your system to act and react like a PC, but they don't get the liberty of a PC, the freedom of a PC. Which means you'll still pay for an online subscription, which is jacked up because we don't pay. They'll give you permission on certain areas that you can go in, and you can't go into other areas, which is jacked up. Man, future looks bleak. It does. Right? You're gonna go. It looks bleak for console because the only console I see that's going to survive this is the Nintendo. That's it. They didn't give out the third-party games. They're exclusive. They never gave them out. And then with this digital era, it's not easy to upgrade games now. PS4 got some kind of upgrade. I know that the games never looked that sharp and that vivid. Never looked that sharp and vivid. Whatever that update was, which I'm about to go through the update and figure out, pick it apart piece by piece, figure out what was in there. Whatever was in the update, those games look far different than what they did before. Which means now, instead of basically reprogramming an entire game, they can add firmware, can order firmware or some kind of software upgrade to make games look way better than what they are now. And the PS4 got a major update. Those games on there look absolutely crisp. You know what I'm talking about. I was looking, I was like, wow. And what did they do? And they did something. So now, since everything is digital, there's no more about basically pressing everything to a disc, you know what I mean? Like the PS Pro would have a different format disc. How much money that would have cost them at the end of the day? A lot of money. But because it's digital, they just make a higher upgrade version of the game and allow you to download it if you have the system that will allow you to run it through the hardware. Now you don't like the body games. And then the crazy thing about it is, console, technically, won't be exclusive anymore. Because now they can port the digital copies to any console system they want. Or make more money. PC uses a different format at the time. It's using the CD-ROM, a different format than console. You couldn't take an Xbox and stick it in a PC drive; it wouldn't run. And vice versa, it just wouldn't run. You probably get a chance to play the music, maybe some sound effects, but you're not playing the game. Now digital, different story now. Digital means that now we can play all your games. You can play our games, but the problem with our games at the end of the day that they don't make them for console. They don't. We have a lot of games on our system that are just not made for console. They're reported for PC only. And the majority, all your games, not all of them, are coming to PC. And the wake-up call for you guys is that if you go to Steam and you do some homework, you will notice that the specifications required for us to play your games are way lower than what you have in your console system right now, which means they overhyped your system. There's no way in the world you're using a 4070 graphic card to run God of War. No, you do it in a 20 series to run that. No, nope. Do your homework. Go look through there. You'll be surprised. You'll be shocked what the requirement will be for majority of most the high-end PC games. You'll be really shocked. You think at the end of the day that we have to spend the money for a high-end expensive parts, you would be shocked. I can run freaking Call of Duty in ultra settings on an i5 processor easily. You don't need all those high-end parts. If that was the case, nobody could gain. The parts would be way too expensive. No one can actually afford the game. No. That's stereotype nonsense. The PC gamers live in golden mansions and we cry golden tears. In order for you to be a PC gamer, you have to be ultra super rich. All our PC parts are made out of gold and titanium. Look at this. Very few people you would talk to will have a 5090 in their system. If anything, too many more high machines will have 40s in them. 40 series. It's in the system. Some are still running 20 series. They still run. I ran a freaking Street Fighter over there. Mine required an AMD 580, which is the equivalent of a 1060. Mine's a 1050, and I ran it with no problem whatsoever. I had no lag, no freeze up, no nothing. No ripping, no tearing, no nothing. And then people think, oh, I'm running it in low settings, it's going to look like the Atari 2600. No, it's not going to look like the Atari 2600. Gee whiz Louise, where did we get this from? I cut my case out. Anyway, no. You've just been, they didn't, I don't know, some people just blow things way out of proportion. It's not expensive to have a PC, it really isn't. As a matter of fact, now since the technology we have at the end of the day, we can build PCs that cost far less than a PS5 and produce insane graphics on it because of the system technology we're using. But it's not expensive. Some people say, I got 128 gigabytes. And what the frick you need that for? And we literally be having conversations with each other. Like, what the frick you need 128? Like, what are you doing at the end of the day? You're just gaming with that? That's a waste of money. No one's using that. Freaking 16 gigabytes is all you need. You're good. That's it. Some games can run off 8 gigabytes. You don't need all that. Unless you're doing like multiple applications, you got streaming through Twitter and Twitch and all the other stuff you got going on. Yeah, then you're going to have the problem. Because I had that with that system over there. I had to upgrade it to 64 because I had all these windows open in applications I was working on and it was dumping the memory. It was shutting down my pages. I didn't have enough memory to open up certain pages, not in my website. So I had to go in and basically increase the memory because due to the fact that I needed that for that. That's a work PC. But basically, for anything else, no, heck no. 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 All right? Not needed. You can get a Dell PC. A Dell PC. And upgrade it to run games off of it. There are people all over eBay, not eBay, but YouTube, that will show you how to do the modifications. I'm about to do them myself. They show you how to do the modifications to upgrade a Dell into a gaming PC. Dell has all the bells and whistles to game on. An i7 49, 70, or 90 is enough to run games on. More than enough. The one I was looking at comes with 32 gigs of RAM. That's literally higher than your PS5 at 32 gigs of RAM at DDR4. It has a terabyte of solid state drive. But mind you, PCs at the end of the day don't really have a limit for hard drive space. So we have an option whether we're going to run it through a SATA hard drive or we're going to run it through a solid state so we can go back and forth. So yeah, you got plenty of, you got upgrades galore you can do on that. Other than that, it already comes with a PCI Express that'll let you run, if you're going to be doing AMD, you can run a 3.0 port or you can run a 4.0. You can do it that way, either way. The 3050 graphic card is all you're going to freaking need. If you want to go higher than that, 3050 will run VR glasses with no problem. And ultra settings, 4K settings, it'll run it. You don't need all that power. It's overkill. That's what you're doing. You're overkilling your system. That's it. Pretty much it. So you get one of them Dell builds. The Dell build's like $188. That's it. $180. You already got CPU. You have your RAM. You got your hard drive. You got power supply. You got to get rid of that thing today because that 250 power supply is trash. You get yourself a regular power supply. These power supplies I have over here, I paid $35 for them. Both of these power supplies, that's $35. Modifying the way I want to modify them. But anyway, $35. So that's nothing. That's pretty much it. Now, if you want to, people want to put bigger fans on them, you can drop bigger fans on them. It'll accept the bigger fans. The liquid cooling system, on the other hand, is a different type of system. But you can drop the liquid cooling system. You just override the board. You bypass the board, go straight to the power supply. That's how you run it. Excuse me. Simple application. Molex to 4-pin. That's all you need. A Molex to 4-pin. That's all you need. Hook the Molex to your power supply. It has 4 pins that come out of it, basically for your fans. You run for your liquid cooling system, and the other basically powers your fans. For your one powers one for the liquid cooling system for the block, and the other one will power the one for the radiator system up top. If you're running RGBs basically have a SATA output. So what you want to do is you get a SATA output with a remote control port on it, like I have one here, that allows you to control your lights and plug that into your SATA. That allows you to control your lights. So you got powerful lights, powers to run the system. That's it. Boom, you're done. That's it. Finished. You're done. Override the system. As for the fans, I wouldn't even pull them. Get extenders on them, which I'm doing with mine on the Fallout system over here. I'm going to paint them up real nice with a part of a reactor system and hook them up. That's it. Fans are still plugged in. System is still reading. The fans are running. We're just not using them. That's all. Get around it. Dells come in micro ATX boards, which are nice. And the thing I like about the Dells is the Dells have 4 DIMM slots, where mostly PCs have 2 DIMMs. There's your memory. So that means the Dells usually come with a lot more memory. A lot more. So I had a bad idea right there. If somebody got the idea, open them on up and just slapping the low profile 1050s in it, and boom, they were gaming off of it. That's what I did. That's why I bought one. Cheap, easy. You want to run you want to run controllers? You can run controllers all day long in there. You can run those in there. You can run PS1s in there. Any controller you want. Like N64, you can run those in there. Whatever you want. So you open up your Steam account, you ain't got no money for no games. Guess what? There's a massive library in there of free games. That Disney game I played, that's free, by the way. And no, it's not one of those games where basically you have to have deep pockets in order to buy certain things so you can compete. Nope, I haven't bought anything for that game yet, and I kick butt in that game. I haven't bought anything, no upgrades. Matter of fact, I want to get back into that game. I need Earth for speed. Yeah, it's a lot of games in there. Multiplayer online games? Oh my goodness. You guys are the big Call of Duty junkies at the end of the day. You like war games? There's so many different versions of war games on there. It is not even funny. And majority of most of them are free. And these are massive servers. And MMOs are massive servers. You got 50 on 50, 100 on 100. You would have a field day in there. You would. I got a couple games in there right now that are beast mode like that. And again, they don't require a lot of heavy parts. You have a field day. You're into racing? You like racing games at the end of the day? You see the steering wheels for PC? They're mind-boggling. They're insane. This is like actually like getting in your car and riding around. They're amazing. And there's so many racing games. And a lot of them are free. Yep. I'm not going to nickel and dime you on these DLCs. DLCs only charge you 40, 50 bucks for a DLC. Sometimes it's like 30, sometimes 20. And DLCs can cost you like, I paid 99 cents for DLCs one time. As a matter of fact, it's a game in right now. I paid $2 for a game. Every time you buy a game, guess what happens? You get points. You know what you can do with your points? You can actually, the artwork, you can even change your logo on how your system comes on. I got one with the pizza girl coming up and knocking on the door. I'm about to do my other one pretty soon. So you get points to pretty much hook up your system, your dashboard and all that. Oh, I got some cool stuff in there, man. Upload your own pictures, stuff like that. I gotta get back to my Steam account. Alright. This is dry. We have to cut into the process. It depends on how the process goes. If the process does not cut the way we need to cut, then that means we gotta go with the diamond chips. The diamonds because we'll cut right through that. So let's see what happens. Whether or not we have success. Or whatever. So see what happens. Got a better safe than sorry idea. It's popped up, not cutting on top of that dust. Chill out. You have to spend a lot of money for a PC. Get yourself a Dell. Pop it open. Get yourself a low profile graphic card if that's what you're going to need. Pop it in there and you're good. Some of the wide body Dells, on the big Dells, they have the big ones, the wide ones. I've seen people put 350s in them. 3050s in them. They put 3050s in them. And it fits nice and snug. So one guy had a 4070 in there. Yeah. It'll fit nice and snug. I'm still used to switching up in there. kit, whoop, gonna cut like this in no time at all. Let's start here. The horrible blades. Shattered it. Man. Trashy blades. Trashy blades! Let's make this thing cut and be done. Alright, let me see. Crap. Let's see. Screwdrivers. Blades. Pretty soon, once I get my workshop, I can bring in my big boy toys. I have my welding equipment. I start building my big stuff at the end of the day. I'm building me a racing simulator. Doing that, on the racing simulator, and plus cockpit for planes and stuff like that. And then a mech unit that I gotta climb up and sit down at a little cockpit. That's what I'm actually gonna be working on next. So it's gonna be a unit that I have to literally climb up into and sit down like a pit, cockpit. It's gonna be for my mech. It's gonna light up and everything all around it. My buddy's gonna help me do it. He's gonna wire it up and hook it up. He's gonna design a hydraulic system, the engineer. Because you can't afford the toys, then you build them. Cheaper to build than buy. Always cheaper to build than buy. Always. I was gonna get a friend of yours that works on wood. And I was gonna say, man, I could build this for less. I ain't joking either. Probably build it with better quality too. I could build this. And build you shall. My friends I got friends who work in woodwork at the end of the day, so I can build better than this. And build you shall. Should definitely pay you handsomely to build my cabinets for me. Thank you. And to make your own stained glass, that's easy to do. Making your own stained glass is easy. You can make your own stained glass. That's one thing I love. Mom is an artsy person. She do stained glass. She taught how to do stained glass. Always learning something new. Always learning something new. That's where we get it from. Oh, there's another one. Now I'm gonna double it up. I'm gonna put 2 on there instead of 1, because usually that does work. When I'm done this video, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna grab the diamond tips and get those instead. Because that's like we'll cut right through this with no problem at all. We gotta sand all that down now, because again, the diamonds would have been a clean cut, but that's because they put in these cheap freaking cutters in here. And it's like garbage, absolutely garbage. Oh. Right, stop. Let's take the other one down to my buddy's shop. He got a big press. I put a hole through this. That reminds me, I gotta cut through the projector screws over there, turn them into flatheads. Yeah, I learned that from a freaking guy over in freaking. You can always learn something new from somebody. I learned that from a guy over in on when the Xbox 360s had these weird star screws, and they were a pain in the neck. It was really hard to get your hands on the kit. So this guy had a rotary tool, and he was showing people how to slice them in half and turn them into flatheads and pull them right up. Ever since then, I got a problem where I stripped something because they put them soft screws in there, and you strip them, man, just cut that sucker, turn it into a flathead, and take it right on up. Double this up. Cut a blade off of it. Man, diamonds. We're getting diamond tips after this. I am not doing the other one without the diamonds. At least I can get through this window. Got an area right in there we missed. We got, oh no, we missed that area too. That right there. Gee whiz, man. It's going to be an interesting cut through. This is all done right here, here, and here. That cut through. When I come to the top area and cut that through. This is going to be quick and fast because I am so sick and tired of these freaking cheap blades. I hate these things so much. These things are crap. Now make something, make it right, for goodness sakes. Where's my freaking whatchamacallits at? I'm so frustrated over this nonsense. A bag of trash. These things are garbage. Let's do one. We should be to slice through everything nicely. Get that done. Sheesh. This should have been a piece of cake. Easy slice through. No problem whatsoever. It's good they put them cheap blades in there. Look at the diamonds. Which we did have. But again, someone stole my tools. Very upset about that. Lord bless me to get everything back. Alright, let's get this done. I'm so sick and tired of this. Let's see. Right here and here and here. Stand here while you're fighting me. I'm not trying to fingers in this. Alright, let me see. That's the cracking Jackson. Alright, that's one. Doesn't walk away. She doesn't keep fighting me. One more. Where are you? Where are you? That should have been an easy, clean cut with no problem whatsoever. That should have been taking that long. Should have been easy to do. Now we got to grind all this down, sand all this down, which is more quieter. You can't hear Jack anyway. Apparently my fans on my PC are super freaking loud. I didn't realize how loud these things were. Let's throw this away. All that breakage right there. Now, we sand all this down nicely, and then there's a clip, a tubing that fits over top this, that makes those nice, and you put the plexiglass on it. And that's how it's done. Yeah, it's kind of sand it down. Welcome to the world of modeling 101. I mean, those things that broke. I mean, those things shattered. Yeah, there's a cheap. They gave you the cheap ones. They're shattered like in no time at all. They're not even worth the money. The best ones are the diamond tips. Diamond tips are better. Way better. A little more expensive, but it's definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money. Where's my parts intimidate you? Yeah, what's your parts intimidate you? See what's in there. I don't know, I wouldn't buy the console too much. The console's so compressed, man. But get yourself an old Dell, and yeah, open it up and mess around with it. You'd be surprised what you can do with them. You'd be surprised. They're not intimidating, this thing. They're not. They're not. Take that whole thing apart. It's just all memory. Remember where everything goes at. What I did, I started on an old PC. Took it apart, put it back together again. Took it apart, put it back together again. Doing research on, asking, what does this mean? What does PCI Express mean? And all this stuff, learning stuff. How do you override? How do you use this? PCI Expresses are used to advance your motherboard's capability. Alright, let me see. I need to watch my phone here badly. Get all that cleaned up, charge it, I'll let you know, vacuum all this whole section out, get that all cleaned up. Let me see. There's the air cleaners. can't find it. I have no idea where. Oh, you're right there. Up. Definitely put this up because you will lose this in a hot second. So let's put that there, just in case when I lose that. Now I'll put it here myself. I'll put it in where this place. Like, oh my God, what's it doing? Where'd it go? We can't find it. We need it. All right, that's white on me. Nice bookcase over there, the cardboard. I'm so happy about my bookcase over there. Oh shoot, we got the small micro screws. This is bad. I almost lost these. Where's that thing at? Oh, Mr. Bird, you gotta don't move things. Got a bad habit of moving stuff really fast. All my screws are over there. Supposed to stay there. Got a real bad habit of moving stuff. Don't touch that. At all, period. Alright, I'm gonna put these in here so we get access to these. Trying to figure out where to get my other set, because I got another set. I think those have the diamonds in them. I'm not sure. I think they do. So look at my case. PlayStation. Well, first ordered the modifications for that. Cut our peekaboo window in. And everything we got in here, you're going to be see right through the window. All this is going to be painted up in different colors. Right here, we're even going to put a display right here, Cyberpunk right here, piece of artwork right there. So you can see everything glow. And the artwork's going to be painted so it actually goes in the dark too, all of it. And there it is, and so it begins, the first process. At least we got that done. I try to get as much as I possibly can done. For a minute, I literally thought this was my cell phone, and I thought I damaged the screen. I was freaked out for it. Like, what the freak did I do to my cell phone? There. There's our hard drive. I'm not going to easy bought a UFO case and just click the whole thing and it been done. I had the whole thing invisible. Well, where would be the fun in that? It'd just be too easy. Glow in the dark paint's coming tomorrow. And that means we start working on the inside paint job. Since everything's cleaned up, I got some wipes, so I want to make sure we wipe down any excess dust in here before we start on the paint job in that section. And I got to vacuum all this out tomorrow, so I'm going to put this on the charge. Where's the box at? Box. I was terrified though. I was terrified to go into my Xbox 360 was, because it was so delicate, I was so worried about breaking it. You know, but man, when I got looked inside and I saw it was built, I was like, oh shoot, this is easy. This is freaking it's a PC. Yeah, it was actually a PC. I mean, just like a PC. I said, okay, I know my way around in here. And yeah. Oh shit. Cleaned up. Now, this setup here is definitely going to have, we use a CYBERPUNK setup, and it's going to have a billboard that sits over top of it, and the billboard's going to be a screen, and we're going to use our Maxsonic projector to game off it. We're using the Flex system for it. So that should come up pretty nicely. And then we got another QME coming in, and that QME is going to take over the other screen we have here. I'm using the Flex system right now for my screen setup. Water bolts in here. They are in here. I know that. Oh no, there's a motherboard too. What are these? These are nuts and bolts. No, why is that? I have a pair of those. I gotta find those. I got a pair of those too. Right there. They're not definitely going in there. It's not gonna work. Let me see what we get to that. Definitely have that in here. Perfect. Love my bookcase. My bookcase is fantastic. And put everything in there. Done. I came out better than the metal cabinet. Like I told you, I bought a metal cabinet for $75. Waste of money. Freaking waste of money. It had very little room in it. It was very poorly made. It's like that's kind of metal, that sheet metal. It felt like sheet metal. Every time you hit it, boom, boom. It's like a thunderstorm was about to pop off. I didn't like it at all, period. $75 for that. And here I am. I built a system here. I got plenty of space, everything. I can show you how to make cardboard slide back and forth just like doors. Works the same way. Like I said, you have to have a special kind of cardboard for that. When you saw me building the steampunk PC and everything, yeah, these tools right here, this is the tool to have. This is a tool you can modify, make anything you want, any part, anything you want with this. God, I love you so much. I do. This is the ultimate modification tool. Right there. That's all you need right there. Get yourself a little magnifying glass and some tweezers, man, and get to work and start building whatever you want, man. Those of you building Gundam robots, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We use those tools. This guy's got them super magnifying glasses because they got all the little electronic parts sticking out of the Gundam and something. How the frick you do that? The level system on those things. Jeez. Really? I bought one time, and I thought it was already put together. Like, I thought it was already assembled. And I got it. I saw these tons of parts. I'm like, oh, heck no, we are not doing this. I had a friend of mine from Japan. He did them. I was like, you want this? And he was like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll do everything. He built that thing. It was sick. Put it together. He put a little extra stuff. We ran lights and everything through it. It was crazy. I was into that kind of stuff. Gundam. Get all the parts in here. Let me see what spring is like on. Jupiter, Lord. Oh, where's my looking for these? I doubt I have any in there, no blades in here. Oh, we do have one! Yes! God is amazing. That's what they look like. These babies right here. Somebody stole my stuff. Took all my blades. That's what they look like. These right here, these will cut through anything. Yes, I have one. Yes, thank you, Jesus. God is good. Always makes a way for me to get what I gotta get done. Always makes a way for me to get what I gotta get done. Yes. Money's gonna save me $17. Those suckers don't snap either. They don't snap for jack. That's why I got them. And I just happen to have one in there. God is good. We'll cut the bottom half tomorrow. Late tomorrow. Always make sure I cut anything when it's late. And it should be fast. It should be zip zip. We should be done. Not that where we just went through the last time. That's what a freaking headache. Projector on. One little screen system right there. Freaking love it. And that's using the tile system, Flex portable tile system. That's what it's using. It runs 4 12 by 12 screens for the Flex system. You make your own screens with them. That's the blue technology. That's why it looks different from the one behind it. Because the one behind it is black. Those are the blue ones. These will run off Pico projectors and fully lit environments, but no problem whatsoever. And it'll run off 50 lumens. See? Easy. And it's 15% technology. It's not still peaked yet. We're still working on that. But yeah, I can run that off my desk with no problem. And mind you, the screen's not on the desk. It's actually in front of the desk. So that way I can have a little more room back. So I can basically set up my projector, which is right over here at 300 lumens. Picks up with no problem. And that's what I was talking about, having that whole system. We can map it out to your desk and have the screen come up like a little curve. So you can have them rounded off like a curve if you want. You can make them transparent where the projectors can be behind it. Oh man, we got some cool gaming setups we want to do. We got so much good input from people at the end of the day on how they want us to design these different types of screens. And see, that's what I mean at the end of the day. I mean people that are contacting us with good ideas and good inputs instead of a bunch of jerks at the end of the day that have nothing better to do with their time than to act up and carry on. I sat there and said that. I just no sooner just sat there and said that about not letting the devil waste your time. You know what? I hate talking about this. I'm not going to say much about this. But in a way to put it, in a nicer way of putting it, he's done. He's definitely done. And I told you from the door, go down there and have a talk with management and see what's happening to you. Go have a talk with them. Have a conversation with them. They're going to tell you they got an attorney already. They have an attorney all ready to take him to court for an eviction. When I contact tomorrow morning, I'm contacting Baltimore Police, the investigation unit we need a they're gonna pretty much put us in the direction of a detective. We're gonna send them down everything we have, and when they get ready to basically, or they might do it right there and then, to go in and basically arrest you. They're going to meet it with the building management, and building management's going to tell them that, yeah, we've got complaints from that same guy who sent over information, and we're in the process of getting him an eviction. And that's not going to look well for you, which means they can lock you right up on the spot. And you're going to spend the night in a holding cell. That's where you're going to be at, in a holding cell. If they decide to give you bail, if you don't get bail, or you don't see that cyber judge, they'll just hold you. They'll transfer you over. And you'll be across state somewhere. That's what happens, and the cyber judge pops on. Cyber judge will see how bad it is. It's pretty bad for you at the end of the day. You may get bail, you may go home, you may not, you may stay there until your court date pops up. Because they're not going to vouch for you. We're contacting management. We explained to them. And what made things so much worse for him, even worse, we have been in contact with them since last month about the first initial letters that were popping up at the garage and the way he's been carrying on. Now we got all new letters with the addresses here that we just sent over to them. This is not good for him at all, period. Nope. He's going to lose his benefits. He's going to lose his freedom. And he's going to get an eviction notice. And what did your letters do at the end of the day to us? Absolutely nothing. They're letters. But it's against the law to do what you did. It's against the law to send mail to someone's place without their permission. Especially when we have a police charge on you. We went down to file charges against them. Here in Philadelphia, which I'll be sending over to Baltimore. We didn't give you consent to say anything here at all, period. So, I guess I'll be sending them in court. The woman warned you, did she not? She told you to cut it out or you're going to end up going to jail. And now look. Well, that's what it is. Some people listen, some people don't. He sat there and made that YouTube video. He said, nothing's going to happen to me. Go down and have a conversation with them and see where you're at. You don't want to go down there, you know why? They already know about them. They know what you look like. We sent them all the information over. And of course I know where they know where you're at, where your apartment's at. I'm going to have a conversation with them, talk to them about basically, and say, hey, I wish you would go down there and tell them at the end of the day, hey, he's just making up stuff. Nobody, you can't get around that. You put your address on there. And like I said, at the end of the day, we got your fingerprints. Well, he has your fingerprints. We run his fingerprints to a database right now. I mean, other database. We dig up all kinds of stuff on this guy. Apparently, you've been in the system before. I just sat there and said on camera that we've been in contact with your building, right? Did I not say that? Did I say to you that anything you send over, it's been asked to be redirected back to them? And yet you still send over dumb stuff. So that letter we showed you, that got mailed off. That's going directly to their front desk. And guess what's inside that letter? Emails. Email messages, we were contacting us. All that evidence, they're going to get that straight to the attorney. That's what they're doing. Everything we give to them, they get to the attorney. That's the one that's basically going to give him the eviction to be removed out of the building. Mess it up. Told you what he could have did with that spot he had. He ain't paying no bills, hardly any bills, because the rent's is really cheap. The utilities are super cheap. They get free internet. He has free internet in there. And he could have taken that opportunity with those e-bikes and not ripping people off. Get rid of that stuff stealing from the church. If you ain't what you are at the end of the day, don't be who you say you are when you're not. So, understand that one right there. So, you could have went and did those e-bikes. And you could have did something like down-to-earth e-bikes, something like that. People would have came in and watched you on the e-bikes. I would have came in and watched you. If I didn't know who you were and I saw you up there saying, okay, to Everyday Joe at one of these bikes. I'd rather watch an Everyday Joe any day than somebody, you know, I would watch them for the experience because maybe they got a little more experience about the bike. Most likely be the Everyday Joe because I'm curious exactly what his point of view is. He's going to be more honest with the review at the end of the day because he ain't getting paid to do it. And people would have logged in to watch you. On top of that, you could have did tours all over on Baltimore. Like, this is a good place to eat at right here. You know, it's a nice tourist attraction over here. You may want to stay away from over there. You know, stuff like that. You can give them an inside look because you're from there. Did you take that opportunity to do that? No. You went out and committed a bunch of crimes. That now you done messed everything up for yourself. That's what I would have did with your opportunity. Got a job. If I got that much free time on my hands, got me a little job on the side to make a little money so I can support the e-bikes. Put money into my business, what I'm doing. And then you do enough of those videos and you collect enough people, those companies will send you e-bikes for free to get your opinion on it. Now you're doing sponsorship. See, you could have made some real good money while you was there, save up, get a little bank, get yourself a nice little house on the side. You could have hooked it up. You don't know how to, at the end of the day, they don't know business. You don't know how to do business at the end of the day. You don't know how to flip money, make money. You don't know how to do it. You don't. Your mindset's not structured for it. Some people are structured for it, some are not. I'd have flipped that opportunity so fast it wouldn't be funny. And that's what most people do. When they're in those different places, like Section 8 and public housing, the rent's cheaper. Yeah, they bank their money. They basically invest in something at the end of the day. Some people invest in hair. They do hair. Some people do this, do that. They do tattoos or whatever. They invest in that. They make good money off of that. Get yourself a nice little spot that people can come to. Yeah, you got about 4 or 5 clients. You're making some good money. And later on, you can save that money up. Get yourself a nice little storefront and you're already in. Now you're self-independent. What did you do? You move into a place like that, commit crimes, commit scams, rip people off, become a fake preacher. I don't know, God knows how many people you ripped off on that thing at the end of the day. Commit all kinds of crimes, enough to get you removed out of the building. Destroyed it. Did nothing with it. Not a thing. God gives each person a blessing at the end of the day. What you do is what you get out of it. You allow the devil to take his. YouTube. Pretty flowers. When that was they must throw up. That's nasty. Yep. Exactly what I would have did with it. Now, see? You had the e-bikes all set up and good to go. You had some merch about basically something I'd have named it after Baltimore at the end of the day. You got plenty of people who want to go to different places and all. You already there. You're the ultimate tour guide because you live there. Add a little e-bike in with that at the end of the day and show people the ins and outs of the e-bike and stuff like that. So you'd be surprised when you were able to go with that. I would have watched that at the end of the day. Could have learned something about those e-bikes. Could have learned something about Baltimore. Okay, that's a good place to eat. Okay, so-and-so, where would you go for so-and-so and so? You have all that information because you live there. You know where all the nitty-gritty good stuff is at the end of the day. Where to get the best food at. These other places, when you go to these tour guides, they'll send you to the best of the best. I don't want to go to that crap at the end of the day. I want the mom and pops. I want the food that's made with love. I want where the real food is at. That's what I want. I'm not a person that enjoys skybox seats. I don't want that. I want to be down there with the crowd, with the rowdy, screaming and yelling, having fun. People with their faces painted. I want to be a part of the game. I don't want to be in a skybox. So you can tell me where all the goods, like where do you get the real food from? Not this stuff. I want the real stuff. The real stuff. The stuff that y'all get. That's what I want. Yeah, you know all that stuff. You could have used that as an advantage point. Could have started a YouTube channel called Welcome to Baltimore. Got a nice ring to it too, don't it? And what do? You destroyed it. I flipped that so fast, man. I've been making money. Dude, I started in a rented little room when I started my business. A rented little room is where I started from. I use every opportunity to my advantage point to basically push my technology to its next level. Every area I go, I take advantage of that opportunity to get myself to the next level. That little laundry room, I did all my documents, paperwork, licenses, DBAs, LLCs, all that in there. All my stuff is legit. All my paperwork is good. I can go to City Hall all day long, permits, zonings, whatever. I got all my stuff locked in to do whatever I need to do. I can promote parties if I want. I got my licenses so locked in. I take advantage of all opportunities. I could use that. Messed it up. Other one, Jamie. Ugh. Screwed his life up too. Wrecked his life too. Another person of self-destruction. You're not documented. I came down here, kept my nose clean, stayed out of trouble. Definitely would have stayed off of YouTube at the end of the day. I'd have kept everything low key. Worked hard, got myself a nice little lawyer, keeping on a retainer that paid up, get my freaking citizenship to be here. I'm good to go. Now you do that 3D printing, that printing, mapping, whatever you do with the he does pretty. It's pretty nice. He does some pretty nice stuff. See, Jamie, the difference between me and you is that I'm more mature than you. I can recognize good product when I see it. I also recognize bad product when I see it. You're not good at paint, but the printing stuff you're extremely good at. I've seen some of the stuff you print out. I can give credit where credit is due because I'm more mature than you. You can't give out credit where credit is due because you're a child. The child's going to do nothing but insults when they're upset and angry. A mature adult can look past that and see, okay, I can rate you on that, but I can also rate you on this too. See, I can say things that are, these are not good, but I can say these are fantastic. Because my brain doesn't think just one-sided like a little child does. Your brain works that way. So I can see the 3D printing you do looks amazing. It's very nice. But you can't see past that point. That's why I'm more mature than you are. I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve. I learned to conquer that. But anyway, he does very nice artwork with the whole printing machine and all that. Just he can't sell any of that stuff. He has to get his own stuff at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure you can probably think of something. But right now, it's not your biggest problem. You got bigger problems than that right now. Like the copyrights, that's what you have to worry about. Those are the bigger, they come with heavier jail time, that cybercharge and ISIS and all that stuff. That's the bigger problem you have to worry about. So that's out the window. That's not going to happen. But that's what you could have did with it. Could have made money off of that. Heck, I could have hired you. I need cubes. I need stuff designed at the end of the day. I got my buddy who's doing all that stuff right now, but I would have hired you if I saw you on YouTube and I didn't know you. I was like, oh, shoot, that's a really good job. Let me show you some information as well. Like, yo, do you do so-and-so, do customization, so-and-so? Yeah. I got plenty of people that are into customization. I could have brought a lot of business your way. But you decided to do all that dumb nonsense, and you wrecked it for yourself. Self-destruct. McAfee has a family. They're young, too, by the way. Yeah. Self-destruct. You guys act like that when I was 16. Shame. Let me see. Got flowers on this side. Want to get the fire sticks to work in here. I had to go in and change software and whatever crap they had in there, and I got it to work. Now I know how to fix a fire stick now. That's a good trade to know, how to fix a fire stick. Ooh, what do we got here? Some colors, some fruit. Yeah, look at that. Oh, Shaun the Sheep. Shaun the Sheep. Come on, computer running through here. Pretty soon I have my other computer running here. Won't run through this projector because something will happen to that projector. Won't allow me to run a computer through it, but I can run my fire stick through it with no problem. This is running through. PC. What do we have here? I gotta change all this. I don't like what we have back there. I think my whatchamacallit art. Yeah, I got this. This is the same tapestry I had. Cyberpunk I had in the garage. I got it and put it on here. Let's see. Yep, opportunity. I take advantage of it. Every chance I get, I'll take advantage of opportunity. Comes my way, I utilize it the best way I possibly can. Get the highest advantage point out of it. I do not let opportunity pass me by. I had plenty of time to go through that when I was in lockup. Basically, all these different ways of opportunity, things I could have been doing out there, productive things, instead of sitting in there when as time passed me by. When I got my chance to get out, I was going to basically, when I hit that ground, I was going to keep on running. Get that job done no matter what. I'll take advantage of every opportunity I get. I'm gonna be on site next month. Yeah! Dun, 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 dun. Ooh! Nobody knows it. Nobody knows it. I know I butchered that song, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be on site next month. I'm bringing what screen? We're gonna bring in the whatchamacallit AdTech technology. We're gonna bring in one of these whatchamacallit screens. It's fired up in there. It's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, I tell you, absolutely gorgeous. At least it'll be in a different environment. It'll be so much beautiful in a different environment. Yes, a new environment. And guess what I'm gonna use? I'm gonna be using the Chrissy LW400. Cause you know why? Oh, the one with the zoom lens on it. Cause I have to be 18 feet back to fire one of those off. 18 feet. But this is gonna be fun. It's not basically, if I use the one over the standard, I'm only going to be roughly around like 10 feet or 12 feet. That's not fun at all. We're going to be in a commercial environment. Let's knock that sucker back 18 feet and hit that screen. Boom! Watch what that thing does in the day. 18 feet eco mode. We're going to hit that screen. That screen's going to fire up. It's going to be the only thing in that environment. It's going to look just like a TV. Everything else around it, that ain't going to exist. Only those two squares that get hit are going to blow up. And it's going to be quite impressive. Indeed. Indeed. Yes. Soon it's going to be time to do more. Okay, so we demonstrate this. I can't wait for this thing. Got all my permits done. Yeah! Going to be all up in the pot with the QB. This is the portable flex right now. You're watching right now. Portable flex. Flex. I got to ask this real quick. What were you trying to do with the letters? I mean, it's gonna come up in court anyway. But so basically, what was the purpose of the letters? What do you think? What was that supposed to do to me? Was it go? Oh my goodness, there's letters coming in. Oh my goodness, I gotta pack up. That's what you thought was gonna happen. Did I just have a conversation with you about my Lord at the end of the day? We just literally had this conversation. Well, what were they supposed to do? You literally just gave me a loaded gun. You literally didn't put every bullet in the chamber. You did. Here's some Teflon hollow points. There you go. Yeah. No. Don't use those. We need some dum-dums, some hollow tips, and some, what do you call them? Dragon rounds. You know, mind if I just give me dragon rounds? I'll take those instead. Or dragon breath. Give me those. Give me dragon breath rounds. You know what those suckers do? They're incendiary rounds. Let's hit them, turn into a torch. I got them for a shotgun. I got a shotgun. I got an AA-12, and it carries incendiary rounds, carries dragon breath. I think it's brutal too, on top of that. I bought that thing a long time ago. I still got it, sitting up there on the wall. I got no firing pins in, I pulled the pins. Ain't no point using it. No point. It's an AA-12, it's a big freaking gun. What the frick you need something like that for? Too big. I bought it because it was there, and it was basically buying weapons at the time when I was at NRA. And someone had one, I was like, ooh, something AA-12? So yeah, it comes with drums. So I was like, oh, I want the drums. Yep, got that dragon breath. Dragon breath. Shotgun rounds. Dragon breath. Shotgun rounds. Suckers are no joke. You get hit with one of these things the other day, you're gone. You don't even exist anymore. You can forget about. You ain't surviving that at the end of the day. That thing's like basically like being hit in the face with a blowtorch or a flamethrower. Yep. Starting the fire. This guy's crazy. I'm gonna do it in slow-mo. You can't get around that right there. At literally, you ain't getting around that. And a shotgun too. Yep, I got mine on an AA-12. 300 rounds in my clip. But now, don't need it. It hangs on the wall now. I don't need it. I got a an AR-15 too. And they had dual C mags on them. They carry hollow points. Don't carry that either. That sits on the wall too. No fire, full firing pins on them. Don't need it. What? I carry non-lethals, but stop carrying them too. I don't need them. Hey, everything just stays home. What's the point? You need that when you're in North Philadelphia. Jeez. 12 gauge. At nighttime. You ain't missing that. And she's carrying impact rounds. That's even worse. No, I take impact rounds any day over Dragon Breath. Any day. Because at least I ain't on fire. I mean, at least if you get hit and you go down, you know, you're in armor at the end of the day. You got at least have somewhat of a survival rate. But you get with that stuff, you're literally on fire. It's like the equivalent of somebody throwing gasoline on you in a road flare. Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath semi-automatic. Why? Okay, no. I forgot. Right, A12s do have a semi-automatic. Oh, the MK12. Oh man, my fire pins are still in that one. I love it. I go to the shooting range with my MK12. I love my MK12 so much. I do. The recoil on that thing is beautiful. I saw a female of 120 pounds fire, and she didn't even basically roll over, no kickback, nothing. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful weapon. And here's the thing: but Christians aren't supposed to have. We can have firearms for goodness sakes. Gee whiz Louise, wake up and smell coffee. You can have firearms. Firearms aren't dangerous. It's just how you use them. Just like money ain't evil, it's how you use it. Like eggs. And anything else you eat is not harmful, it's how much you consume of it. It's what makes it dangerous. Respect the weapon, weapon respects you. Burn, 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 burn. Cyberpunk Loft. I like the Cyberpunk Lofts. The Cyberpunk Lofts give me something to think about. I'm just thinking about basically like, where the freak is the railings on this thing? Like, it's just asking for death on this one. I mean, they're beautiful and all, but what if you wake up in the middle of the night and you just go cascading down the side of those staircases? I wonder what's waiting for you down. I hope it's another platform down there. Well, that's a money fall, jump. So it's pretty cool. I noticed that the bids are always outside, so it doesn't get cold in there. Sorry, I think a lot about this whole. I love this right here. I want these built. I want one of these built. I love the cyberpunk era. I love it. The neon. It's kind of like you got like old and future at the same time. Futures at the same time. Look at that. I love these lofts. So it's raining out there. When you think that the rain would come through and get them soaked away, this is why I gotta look this up tonight. This is gonna drive me nuts. Like, is it a force field up there? Maybe it's a force field. And the rain can't penetrate through. That's a lot of electronics, man, to get hit with something, man. Oh, man, I love this stuff. Where's the one that had the one, if you walk out the door, you would... Oh, he's lost. Amazing, man. I would love to have one of these. This is where I started looking at, basically, nuclear fusion energy, because I'm just curious, like, how in the world would you get this in the float, like it's just floating? I mean, you couldn't use solar after a while does have weak points in there, so how would you get this thing to float? You have to use nuclear fusion to do it. Is this the one? Yeah, there's no banister. Do you have any idea if you get up and you roll over, you're definitely going to be... Oh, yeah, you're definitely going all the way down. Sheesh. There's no banister there. Doc, we have to blow it up on the big screen. Put it up on the big Star Trek. Put it on the big screen. What's the screen called on Star Trek? They put the teleprompter, whatever it's called. Put it up on the big screen, Doc, on the big screen. The big screen, the big screen, the big screen, the big screen. Put it on the big screen. Captain. To the beam up, Taco. To the beam off. Let's put it on the big screen. Put it on the big screen. Let's get it off on the big screen. Big screen! The big screen. Put it on the big screen. Big screen. Put it on the big screen. There we go. Put it on the big screen. Let me see. We need YouTube. Let me see. Oh, we're gonna walk through Japan. Oh. Man, this freaking AI nonsense, they do too much. Some of this stuff be like creepy looking. They're doing too much with the AI. Doing too much. Boom, the big screen. About to hit the city scene on the big screen. On the big screen. I love my technology, man. I love it so much. Before I go, I remember I've always wanted a big screen TV. Always wanted one. I couldn't afford one. It was way too expensive. The biggest I ever had was 27 inches. That was it. Now, I can have a screen as big as I want. I don't have to spend no money for expensive projectors. I don't need any contrast and none of that crazy stuff. No calibrating. None of that stuff, period. I can run anything I want. True freedom, people. True freaking freedom. And have my giant screen. I watch Star Trek on here from time to time. I watch Star Trek. That's the PS4 base over there. Well, before I go, naysayer. I feel sorry for you. You messed your life up. You do. I didn't take no pleasure out of this. No happiness out of it. I don't. Rejoice over when my enemies fall. I don't. You see that right there? Look at that. You see that? That's all freedom right there. Free to go where you want to go. Do what you want to do, you know. And to be locked up in a situation where you can't do any of that anymore. It's gone. Man. You didn't appreciate that freedom, man. That freedom is worth more than anything in the world. It is. You can be homeless with nothing, but at least you're free. People be taken away from society and put into those places. Never see freedom ever again. You give anything just to walk past that door. Go anywhere. Don't make a difference. Just as long as they know that they're free. Gave us something more valuable than money. Something so small took so much from you. That's how it goes. That's how it goes in life. The smallest thing that takes the most from you. That's what you're going to think about the most when you're in the lockup. But I only did things differently. I'm going to Tokyo. The company and all the technology I have is going to be taken off very soon. I'm going to take some of my money going to Tokyo. I'm going to take a few people with me. I've never been before, so I'm going to take them. I've never been before. It's gonna be definitely a wonderful experience. I'm definitely taking a few people with me. We'll go to Japan. All expenses paid. I'm paying. In Japan. Now, when I pop over to England, I'm gonna have a ball down there because I like the English people. I do. I like Japan. I like different places. But the English people, that accent, man, that accent is gorgeous. I love their accent. It's gorgeous. And I'm a tea drinker. I'm a big tea drinker. Oh man, I'm gonna visit all the tea homes, the tea parlors. I'm going to all the tea. So means I can go to. I'm gonna try something different, like different, like some real tea from over there, something real different. Like the real Earl Grey, like something real. There's a place where they do suits, customized dress suits. I like the double breast suits with the pocket watch, little wide ties. I like those. Old school. And I love derbies. So my favorite hat is a derby. I'm gonna give me a custom made suit when I go over there. Got some people on over there too. They were like, "We have time, pop on over. We'll show you a good time." I bet you will. I'm definitely gonna be popping over to see them. If I'm lucky, I come back talking like them because I like their accents. I freaking love their accents. I want to learn the slang, like the lingo, because they get certain ways on how they say things. Like in the day, I want to learn all of it. I spent about a couple of years down there. I could run my business from down in England. I'm not going to say spotted tea. There's certain ways that it sounds so proper. It's so proper. It is. Especially some of those places that still have cobblestones. They still have that historical look to it. Man. Okay, this beautiful jazz music playing in the background. It's so mellow and relaxed. A little AMSR in the background. Perfect. All these opportunities to do something productive with your life. Don't get in trouble like these guys someday. Don't do that. Like I said before, you know, the devil coached them to doing these dumb things, and they did them. Messed their lives up. Over something that didn't even faze us. Read your life. You're too old for that, gentlemen. You're grown men. You're grown men at the end of the day. You're grown men. Anytime you receive is life. Anything. Well, like I said, we don't live long. I love looking at this city. You think about all the different people who live in the city. Get out, they go home. Everybody has their own story in there. Everybody. It's fascinating. That many people. And then you look at the modern civilizations of man, where we started from, and look where we're at now. I can just spend my time just looking at it all day. It's just fascinating. I feel the need to have a rubber monster suit, but that's another story on its own. Still. The mind bender of it all, when you're in the office building or wherever you may be at the end of the day, there's somebody out there that's seeing, it's like, if you look at this right here, your normal life, you're in one of these office buildings. Like you're an everyday Joe in these office buildings. Someone's actually watching this whole thing from another place and wondering about all the different lives and what people do in their everyday life that makes them them. And yet they're in there living their lives. It's just mind-boggling. That's what it is. It's mind-boggling when you think about it. They don't even know you're watching them. They just know that they're living their lives in the day. But you're watching them on the outside from this huge perspective view, thinking about, wow, I wonder what their lives are like. It's the same thing I feel about other countries. Like, what do you eat in the morning? What do you have for breakfast? Like, I'm always fascinated. Every time I talk to somebody from overseas in the day, like, man, what's it like down there? Can you send me some pictures? Like, I don't even care, man. You can be pictures of anything. Street corners, fire hydrants, because it's someplace I'm not at. I want to see what it's like down there. Show me some videos or something like, okay, this is where I eat at, so and so and so. I find all that fascinating. You may find that not fascinating. Well, it's a supermarket. Not to me. At the end of the day, it's a supermarket I've never freaking been to in another country. I would love to see what it looks like in here. I find that fascinating. What you call your everyday spot, some people call it a fascinating place to be at. I want to know what it's like in here. And you got to go in there to find out what it's like in there. What kind of food you got in there? Like, what do y'all like to eat for breakfast? What do you eat for lunch? What's your favorite dessert at the end of the day? Yeah, all that, man. It's just I find that fascinating at the end of the day. I guess everybody's curious about where everybody lives at in their part of the world. I had a friend over in China. He used to basically send me pictures of all kinds of stuff, man. Just walking down the street. Oh, man, I tell you. Especially in Japan. Some of the places look like Japanese anime. It does. It looks just like from Fooly Cooly. There's this one strip looks just like something from Fooly Cooly. So it's just a bookstore. Not to me, it's not a bookstore. It's a place I haven't been at before. I'm going to go check it out. And if you live on an island, I still want to know at the end of the day. Y'all fish? What kind of fish y'all find? What do y'all eat in the morning? Matter of fact, I'm just interested. No, anything. Anybody's life I find interesting. Because some people think at the end of the day their lives are so boring. Not in my world, it's not. In my world, I find it fascinating. You can make pencils. I would still find that fascinating. Like, can you make me a giant number 2 pencil? Because y'all would ask me some crazy stuff like that with a giant number 2 pencil. But still, I find all that stuff incredible. When people say, your job is more interesting than mine. Not in my world, it's not. I like my job at the end of the day. I really do. But I find other people's jobs much more fascinating. That is the best looking commercial I've ever seen in my life. It's got that whole anime thing to it. Is this what it's coming down for, basically, for commercials now? I mean, I guess if we were doing something for kids, I guess, yeah, that's the way I would go with it. It's kind of cartoonish, but still, it's pretty cool. I even have friends of mine that are homeless. They'd rather be on the street. They don't want to be in. They don't want to be a part of society. There's different types of homeless people. Don't be lump them all and say, oh, they're all. No, there's just some people that just don't want to be a part of society anymore. They quit. Some are very well educated. You'd be surprised. Sit down and have a conversation with them. Some are very, very well educated, very smart, very intelligent. They're just tired of society. They're tired of it all. The bills, the responsibility, they don't want nothing to do with it anymore. They're tired of it. To them, they're free. To us, we're slaves to the system. Sell your soul for a few trinkets. I find it interesting. I have a lot of conversations with homeless people all the time. Like, you can look at the world over and over and over again. In your section, you can see the world over and over again. They see the world differently, much different than how we see it. Different layer to it. It's multiple layers to it. The rich see it different. The middle class see it different. The poor see it different. See a different world. I hang out with the homeless. I do. Some realest people I've met in my entire life. 100% real. Never come empty-handed. Always gotta ask them whether they want a pizza or something like that. I'm gonna bring pizza pie over for something for them to eat. I just want to start my own food drives pretty soon. Feed people. I want more shelters. I want shelters that people can bring their dogs in. That's for families in the day. The dogs should be in the shelter with them. I believe that 100% I do. Yep. That's why I say be careful. Be extremely careful how you treat people, especially the homeless at the end of the day, because you can easily end up in that situation. You can lose anything that fast. You wake up the next day, you don't have a job anymore. So that's been popping up a lot lately, right? Jobs have been disappearing left and right. You know why. But it's also a reality check. Appreciate what you have, because it can be here today, it can be gone tomorrow. You can be the same person on the street begging for food. No one should ever be denied food, ever. You can't take money out of your pocket to help the next man out. It says a lot about you. You can very well end up in that same situation. Being rich don't mean jack. You can lose all your money just like that. That's what happened with a lot of people on this one. Trump damaged the stock market. A lot of people lost a lot of money. But that reality check. People kill themselves over some money. Losing money, they're ready to jump out one of these windows and kill themselves. Christian loses money. A true Christian, he's not worried about that. Because God will always take care of him. Rich or poor, he's taken care of. A man that depends on his money will kill himself over some money. 1929, stock market crash. Depression. A lot of people murdered themselves. Killed themselves. They couldn't live out their money. What were their friends think of them being poor? What were their friends in a soup line? Everybody was in soup lines at the end of the day. But they couldn't bear to be seen that way. They killed themselves. Over some money. Something you can't take with you. Isn't that an interesting theory? You're going to kill yourself on something that you can't take with you that was never yours to begin with. You can take it with you to the next life, and you can't. Money has no value in the next life. No value at all. None. Diamond, jewelry, fancy metals, whatever. Nothing has any value. Oops, sorry about that. Ugh, man, I love the city. Can I live in the city? Oh, heck no. No. Maybe when I was younger, not now that I'm older. No. Open land, countryside, that's me. No plumbing, no electricity. Gotta figure out where to get your water from. That's me. That's paradise for me. That's absolute paradise. Gotta figure it out, man. Gotta figure it out. It's too easy. For me, having a home is too easy. It's already there. It's already there. The kitchen's there, the bathroom, it's all there. It's no challenging that whatsoever. I was born as I don't know what. I need something. I want to Minecraft it, man. I want to get nothing out there, man. That's what I want. You got to figure it out. You got to build that all from the ground up. That's what I loved about the garage so much. It was nothing there. I had to build it there. I had to make it livable. Oh, man, I'm telling you, that was the best. The best I ever felt in my entire life was that garage. When I live in a regular place, it's boring. I feel restricted. I feel in prison. That's how I feel. It doesn't feel real to me. On a piece of land with nothing on it, trees and a nice meadow, maybe a babbling brook if I'm lucky. That right there, that's paradise for me. I can build my own two hands out there. First thing we established, EcoFlow power station. We definitely get those. A couple of shipping containers, battery packs, and definitely some panels at the end of the day. We can generate power at the end of the day. We can run all our power tools, equipment, everything we need to start building and constructing our whole front. Oh man, that'd be so much fun. I can build that entire thing from the ground up. Only person I would need is one of my buddies because he basically does cement and lay the foundation. I'd definitely would need him. Lay my foundation down. Anything than that? Wow, man, I could have a ball out there. I have to figure out how to run all my piping in, power it, heat it. The challenge would be the cold. That's what I like about the garage. Because if you didn't basically insulate it right, you could freeze to death in that place. If you didn't insulate it right, you could burn up. The heat would kill you in there. So you had to learn how to figure a way how to survive it. And that's what I liked about it. I was over at City Hall talking about most people wouldn't have to survive out in the middle of the woods with a book knife. They wouldn't be able to do it. When I was with some guy, I would lose my mind out there. I wouldn't know what to do. Buck knife give you shelter. Buck knife protect you. Buck knife feed you. And how to use it. You were made to be able to survive in elements like that. The problem is that with man and all his technology, his skills got dull, soft. But everybody back then knew how to build a log cabin, know how to fish, know how to hunt, the whole 9 yards. Now you go to the supermarket and buy stuff. People don't even know how to track. Some people can't even use a map, a basic freaking road map, or how to use a compass. Let me get the app on my phone. Oh, out here you won't. A tarp, your best friend. A good old-fashioned tarp is your best friend. You need shelter from a tarp. That's why I keep it sharp. You keep a tarp, bungee cords, stuff like that. Flintstone. You say flintstone. The stone you strike and get fire from it. It's a flint. But anyway, you should have one of those. All that stuff you should have on you. Because you may have beaten some rocks together and do it the old-fashioned way. Some people do that too. I watch people when they do bushcrafting, and some people do the sticks. They rub the sticks together. They oh man, they spark the stove. Yeah, they do old-fashioned. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. That's actually very impressive. But yeah, if you're out in the woods somewhere, your instinct will kick in. First couple of days, you're gonna panic your head off. That's definitely gonna happen. But the common sense will kick in, and you'll figure a way how to survive it. People do it all the time. People get trapped out in the woods, and they figure out how to survive out there. You will learn it. Your instincts will kick in. You have survival instincts. They just got soft because you've been in that world. I watched that guy take a blade and take a stick and sharpen it like a toothpick. Got a worm, hooked it around it, threw it out there. No piece of string. He caught a fish. And he eat that fish? No, he cut that fish up and used it to catch bigger fish. Yep. Little toothpick and a worm. Fish will swallow it, get caught right in the throat. That's it. All that from a knife. Alright. I gotta sign off here. What time we got? We're at 12:24. Man, yeah, that whole whatchamacallit. I was worried. I was working with a power tool that late. I don't think anyone heard it. Pretty sure not. But anyway. Well, at least I got that part done. Come tomorrow, I'll do the sand down on it. The sand's light, so no one will hear that. Or I could do that by hand, tell you the truth. Sand everything down nicely. I think I'll just start working on that paint job tomorrow. I got a customer's order to get out tomorrow. You're right, it's going to England. I just got finished talking about how much I want to go to England so badly. Oh man, I tell you, when I had the rented room and I was shipping off to people in other countries, man, I wish I could just get to that box and go over there and see what it was like. I met people from Scotland. So what's it like over there? So then it was like, oh, it's just normal, every day. That's not permitted today. I know it's got to be exciting over there. I don't care what it is. I don't care if we're just sitting out in the middle of the field just watching cows. We're in Scotland. That's what I find it fascinating. Now to watch this documentary on sea monsters. Do sea monsters actually do exist? Yeah, I was on a forum site for the sea monsters. Do sea monsters actually do exist? I'm actually looking at something on some video some guy wanted me to look up. Do sea monsters exist? No. Well, they do exist. The sea monster technically is just a bigger creature that we don't know that hasn't been discovered. If we never saw whales before, we would think a whale was a sea monster. That's what we would think. But yeah, if you had something that big in the water, well, we just had that conversation over there with them. Like, if you had something that big in the water, it's a bigger apex predator, there'd be nothing in the water. Nothing's going to stick around with something that big in the ocean. Like, you would have seen those sharks. You would see, especially when you see sharks. No sharks, no whales, no fish, nothing at all. Now you're in a lot of trouble because something out there is scaring them off. And then you would find all kinds of dead animals all over. Fish, whales, huge teeth marks in them. All over the beach. There's something that huge was living in the water. Even if it was extremely smart and it figured a way how to invade boats, it can't invade radar. Because radar picks up everything in the ocean floor, just about. So something would have picked up by now. If it is something down there, like a colossal squids. They got colossal squids. There's giant squids and colossal. Colossals are the biggest. Colossal squid's a real creature. It's a huge, massive freaking squid. But where they're at, they barely come up. You rarely ever would see one of those things. They stay within their habitat is where they're going to get food at. Like, you know, that's why you don't see polar bears in the middle of the desert. That's why you don't see lions in the Antarctic. Because they stay where basically their survival rate is going to be to survive. That's where they're going to be to get food. That's where they're going to be to mate. They're going to stay where they're most comfortable at. So if something that big is in the ocean, I'm pretty sure that that pressure system, what do they got going on down there, is a perfect ecosystem for whatever's down there living down there. Can you imagine that? That's the part I find eerie. Is that when you're in the ocean, somewhere deep down in the ocean, there's something really big down there swimming around. That's what freaks me out about the water. That there's something down there, and it probably knows you're there. Probably has advanced, I would say, instincts to see things or sense things, and knows you're there. You know how dark the ocean gets? The ocean's pretty dark. People see Ariel and the mermaid and them all swimming around. You think it's well lit down there. It's dark in the ocean. After I think you pass 100 or 200 meters, this is where the sun can't penetrate any farther down. You start seeing light as you start to come up. That's the light piercing through the water. But deep down beneath you, past 200 meters, it's dark down there. You can't see your hand in front of your face. That's why I have flashlights down there. So I love when people watch these demonstrations. Also myself, you watch these demonstrations, people swimming around the water. You think there's a light down there. There's no light down there. It's just a light coming off the freaking spotlight that he has. That's why it looks like this light down there. It's dark down there. So you never know what's sitting in a corner somewhere watching you. And you can't see it, but it can see you. Depends on the creature. The creature could be pacifist, which means it could be shy and it could disappear, or basically be aggressive and let itself be known. The thing that gets me about the giant squid tentacles are extremely, I think, crazy distance. You can be sitting up there and that thing will wrap around your leg. You would never know where it's coming from and just yank you right off the beach. They are intelligent creatures, by the way. They're very, very highly intelligent. That makes it even crazier. But yeah, colossal squid. Yeah. You won't be seeing any of those. Colossal squid. Yeah. Actually, there's a real thing called a colossal squid. It's actually the biggest squid on the face of the planet. And they are extremely, extremely rare. You would see one. Discovering the rare colossal squid. Extremely rare, you would see one. I think it easy capsize a sailboat with no problem. But you don't see them like that. Because if colossal squids swam around like whales did, there'd be people missing left and right. But nope, they got a place where they stay. And that's where they stay, people. Alright, we're past time here. Way past time. And I got to get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you for your time for watching. Kaboom. Gotta go. Thank you all and God bless.